Hey everyone, welcome into the Arena Fantasy Series discussion portal. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley and Carl. So today we're talking about Willow. So Willow episodes 1 and 2 are reactions to the new Disney Plus series. So this is your spoiler warning. Obviously, we're going to be talking spoilers throughout this episode about Willow episodes 1 and 2. So if you have not watched them yet, please go and watch them. And then come back and enjoy our video here on the Arena Productions. So let's get started, guys. Talk about Willow. Obviously, we've seen the film, the 1988 film, and this series is based on the 1988 film. So let's get started. And obviously, we get the Queen, of course, Queen Sorsha. Yeah. So of course, Joanne Whalley, she is back as Sorsha. So we see scenes of her here, and obviously she has 2 children from Mad Mardigan. But unfortunately, of course, Val Kilmer is not in this series. That's kind of the downer for me, not being able to see Mad Mardigan. But obviously, because of Val Kilmer's, condition and all, he's not able to do the series at the moment. Maybe in the future he'll be able to do it. But anyway, so we get to see.
Well, we're
Go
in
ahead,
spoilers.
Yeah.
So I can say I was pleasantly surprised when they did reveal that he is still alive. So
Yes.
maybe cameo.
A cameo at some point, hopefully. Yes, I'd love to see that.
Well, he has been interviewed and said he really wants to come back to the role. Because people are like, well, we want you back. He's like, not as much as me. I want to be back so badly as Pat Mardigan.
Yeah, he can't talk about it. He knows. It's just, he won't want to spoil the surprise for everyone.
Well, let's talk about the children. Obviously, we get, his son here, of course. So Prince Eric, I think his name, Prince Ark, I think. So, he's kind of a playboy himself in this series. He kind of reminds me of Mad Mardigan in a way. Yeah, and he's a hell of a swordsman as well. So, as his father. So what did you think of his character? Carl?
Yeah, I liked him. I think the young cast in general is surprising to me, and because I think they're all like good. They're all charming. They're all good, different characters in different ways. I guess we're gonna go through all of them, so I won't. I guess right. We're gonna probably go through all of them.
I don't know about all of them, but I'll show the image. But these are like the main 4 besides the prince. Yeah. So of course on the far left you have the twin sister. Of course she's the princess. And then her friend, who's kind of a knight in training, and she was actually in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, as well as in what was it, Star Wars? What was it, Solo? A Star Wars story.
She was Solo. That's that waste of a character. They didn't do anything.
That's for another story, but anyway.
Yeah, and then Tony Revolori, who and we know him from Spider-Man recently.
The Spider-Man films,
As Flash Thompson. But in this, I'm like, oh, he's playing a very different character. And at first, I was like, what is he doing here? But I'm like, okay, I like this. I like that he's the interested, like calm, sort of like educated type.
Yeah. And then of course the third from the right there, of course he's he was the prisoner, but of course Sorsha let him go because obviously in the first episode the prince is abducted. Yes. So
Borman is this guy's last name.
Yeah. So known as the Gales. The Gales came and took him away. And so the premise of the end of the first episode and into the second episode obviously is them going off to try to get him back. So
yeah. Borman is the one where I was like, why is this guy here again? I didn't get it. But then once they revealed that he was the squire who went with Mad Mardigan to get the magic armor thing, I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. And he's the Mad Mardigan character for this, for sure.
Right.
And you can see the obvious symbol thing of him being in prison. Like, remember when we first meet Mad Mardigan, he's like locked up in like a cage, right?
Yeah.
So he's diet Mac Mardigan.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good enough, like, different character, but like he's fulfilling that role for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
unless we forgot the old man who seemingly was going to be part of the party and then was just like unceremoniously killed, and everyone was just like, "Oh,
Right.
let's move
Right.
on." No
Yeah.
one seemed to care. No one weeped for him even for a second.
Yeah,
Well,
and then
that guy, you knew as soon as he was saying that speech, he might as well have said this speech. His speech may have ended just saying, "As soon as I end my sentence here, I'm going to just die."
Yeah.
Like that. That's oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we see the image here of the Playboy Prince, and one of the cooks, so a commoner, he's having fun and dating with her, and we find out later on who this girl really is, but Dove, yeah,
that's who she is.
yeah, Dove, or what is it, Broomhilda. Yeah.
Hilda's her name. Dove is her Eric's name, because Eric can't remember her name, and it's like.
I like the setup because I don't, they're setting up his character, and she seems like she's just kind of like not really that important. But then that's sort of a turn and reveal later, and like, oh damn, no, wait a minute, she is really important. Okay, and she seems like, I don't know, she like. I mean, I like her. I do like her. I think she's got. I think I needed to warm up to her, but like I do like some of the funny things. Like it was funny that she was like watching him with the other girls while she was getting upset.
Yeah.
This tone of the show is good in that it's like refreshingly different from most fantasy shows now, which are all like very, dark and serious, and everyone's trying to speak like a medieval person, and this is just like, no, we're not going to do that. It's original fantasy world. It's not medieval times, right?
Yeah, well, you have kind of a mix of accents in this too. I mean, you have the American accent, you have the English accents, as well. But I like her as well, Carl. And I like, of course, obviously, we have the image here of course, Willow. When they finally meet up with him, and it's interesting how him and his people now are living underground. It's to kind of protect themselves, but I mean, when he first meets her, and like he kind of he goes up to her and looks at her arm and sees the scar symbol on her arm, and you're a Laura Dannon, and then she's like, what? At the end of the episode, it's like, yeah. And then as in the second episode, I mean, the teacher student mentoring starts to kick in, and Willow's trying to be really, really serious with her about you just need to focus and everything, and as a cook, when she was living in the castle, obviously she was very, very good at doing that, but this is a whole different ball game for her, and trying to get her to say those specific phrases, I mean, she had to say them over and over and over again, like a million times before the fruit of those phrases actually made any meaning to her. So
I really like Warwick Davis. Like he's just back, and he's great. I think in this, I think I like the scene where he's speaking in front of all the other Newlands, right? It's like that meeting, and he's presenting a Laura Dannon, and like he's just trying to make jokes, and everyone's like like cringing at his pathetic attempts to entertain. But like,
and then
I'm just
the
like,
bones, like
no, they had to have that callback. I did like that callback. But one thing,
then the fingers, yeah, fingers.
The fingers,
yeah.
One thing I didn't like, I want to see with you guys, is because they do this in both episodes where they cut to the original scenes from the original film. Some of those cuts are a little jarring, I found.
What cuts in particular are you talking about?
Like it'll just cut from, they're doing something, talking, and it'll just cut to the original film where it'll show like his wife in that, Kaya.
Mm-hmm.
The hell, this is just jarring as hell the way they did this. I found this to me.
Well, I mean, because I mean, in the sense where Willow's walking around you know, in on the surface there, and he's looking at his old house, and obviously he's, reminiscing about the house that he lived in with his children, at the time when they found Elora Danan. Yeah, go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, Burley, you just watched the movie, right? It's like maybe it's a little different for you.
Yeah, I watched it on Sunday, so
yeah, it's like because I took it as like I need some refreshers on things. They do the little thing in the beginning, which you expect.
Yeah,
and maybe I didn't expect them to toss stuff in later, but I guess there's more pertinent information that if you haven't watched it recently, you're not gonna remember. You have that footage to utilize as flashback footage, right? So I guess there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and what did you guys think
there's
of?
There's nothing wrong with cutting to it. Like, there's nothing. I have nothing against the cutting into it. It's just some of those cuts, the way they do the cuts,
where they did it.
Were,
okay.
Yeah, like that's my more problem with it. And it's just like.
What did you guys think of the other, especially in episode 2 when they did the other flashbacks between Willow and Sorsha? Maybe it was like about 20 years in the, 20 years in the past, and he was at the castle, and, he was warning her about the threats and everything, and she was, just not believing in him being the supreme sorcerer. And, it just, it hurt his pride a lot. I think. What did you guys think of those scenes?
Carl? I liked it. I liked the effect of making them both look young was very good.
Yeah.
I was a little jarring with Willow at first. I'm like, wait, what's going on? Why does he have this weird facial hair? I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And I saw Sorsha and I was like, oh, okay, they're younger. This is the past.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. It's adding more backstory, details, lore to this universe, right? What happened with these characters. I did think it was comical, even though it was weird that he was talking to kid Elora Danan, and he was trying to convince her because they didn't want to do it. He's like, well, what do you think? Something blah blah blah. Magic. Yeah. It was almost like he was a predator trying to abduct a child, and then they kicked him out. Like, what are you doing? Get out of here! And he's like, fine, whatever. He obviously he wasn't doing anything malicious, but
right.
I thought that was weird, but also comical.
Yeah.
I like that scene because it does do callbacks to the original, because she didn't see him really do too much magic. To be fair, so she didn't really see too much, because. Mm-hmm. I think the only real because he does at the end of the whole film is the whole trick of making Elora disappear, and it's that pig trick that he did earlier in the film. Right. So she hasn't really seen him do much, and she's just kind of wanting to be distance herself from all magic, and be like, if we just ignore magic, don't have it around here, let it fade into dust. Yeah. They got no reason to come here. Nothing will happen. And it's I get it. She's trying to sweeping it under the rug, and it's all good. And she's also playing it as let's just give the child a normal life, not have to put all this pressure on her and all that. And that stuff I actually liked.
Yeah. What did you guys think of?
Good setup, good story. Mm-hmm. Although I'm curious about we also haven't seen Willow do any magic yet since this series has started.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and what did you guys think of the ending there? Of course, the one of the commanders, of course, he was infected in the first episode, and obviously he's just a pawn to the Gales and stuff now. So, he comes up and knocks Elora Danan out and takes her away. But as he takes her away, you see the tree grow there. So obviously, the magic worked, and the magic has not left her, which, of course, Willow earlier was concerned that maybe, she couldn't learn anymore. Maybe that magic was gone. But obviously it's not. What did you guys think of that final scene? Burley?
I thought it was okay. You knew she was gonna get it, and you knew she was gonna get captured. I saw that coming a mile away. Mm-hmm. But hey, it's nice she can do it, and I have a feeling what's gonna happen next. Save that for later.
Yeah, I thought that was well done in how you knew, obviously, yeah, like you're saying, like she's gonna be able to use magic, right? And at some point, it was gonna be the reveal that like the plant grew, right? We knew that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I didn't. I like the way they pulled it off. Was like the guy comes out of nowhere, it's like bashes him in the head. Like it's seemingly pretty damn hard. If you felt it, like with the sound and everything, like they did a good job of that.
Yeah.
And then they take her away, and then you see it. Like okay, like that was a good way to reveal it instead of it being like more obvious or cheesy.
Yeah.
I will say that. So I one thing I pointed out while I was watching it to my wife, because she watched it together and she really enjoyed it. Was when the night guy who's like infected, I forgot his name, Palantir, I think, the Palandine or something. I thought it was interesting, and I loved how it felt real in that like he's starting to talk all like dark and deep, right?
Yeah.
And like one of the other guys is like, "Hey, sir, like, are you okay? Like, what's going on over there?"
Yeah,
That's real. Because I'm like, he's starting to sound like a completely different person here. And I like that someone actually like noticed it, and then he just like attacked him. I'm assuming he infected all of them.
Yeah, Carl, it's Valentine. Yeah, Commander Valentine.
Yeah.
So,
And also, I think it's probably, if I'm looking at like production, I think this is probably a clever way to have that guy be like sort of the face of the villainy, because he's just a regular person, versus the Gales, who we saw in the first episode, who looked awesome, like great designs on all of these monster creature people, right?
Yeah.
But visual effects on a lot of it, and probably expensive. So like not have them always sort of be involved. You can have this other guy, right, who's a human, sort of be in between, as we see them in bigger moments probably.
Yeah, it's kind of when I first saw the guy blowing the smoke and all, and then he came in there and he stabbed Valentine and all. He kind of reminded me of the villain in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh yeah, a little bit of that vibe, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of that vibe there, yeah. But, so. All right. Okay. So one more thing, Burley. Go ahead, man. Yeah.
I was gonna say the one character that's played by the actor that played Flash Thompson. I do like him. I hope I am wrong on this, but in the scene in the second episode with him and Alora, him telling her like, "Hey, I've studied these ancient texts. I can help you," and you can see the kind of they're trying to force chemistry there, and it's like, please tell me we're getting no love triangle in this show.
They could do that, but
maybe, yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
because he's supposed to marry the princess Bix, I think.
Yeah, but they've already established earlier. They're like, once we're in charge, we can do whatever we want and change the rules the way we want to.
Yeah,
and
Princess
she
Kit.
loves. Yeah, Princess Kit loves the other girl, the one that's going to be in the.
Right. So yeah, we
Her
already
name's
know
Jade.
That,
so
that
Kit and
relationship.
Jade. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that relationship's not going to work out. We know that. So like it might not be a love triangle, because there may be some reason that the prince is out of the picture at some point, right? I mean, he's not. Will he even be like a significant character? We don't even know yet, right? Like he's captured. Like, will he be in the show, or that will be like the end when they get him back? We don't even know.
Yeah. Yep, we shall find out, of course. Episode 3 will be this coming Wednesday on Disney+. So we will be, of course, bringing our reactions video for that upcoming this coming week. So we hope you come back and watch us with our reactions on the Arena Productions of Willow. So on the Arena Fantasy Series Discussion Portal. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley and Carl. We hope to catch you in the next episode. So take care, everyone. Peace out.